Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about how the homeschool year is going. This is a collaboration hosted by myself and Devine over at Commonly Chaos Homeschool. So many mamas are joining in today and we are all sharing how our year is going, how it is starting, and any changes that we're making. So make sure that you go check out that playlist. I will link it down below in the description bar with Devine's channel, so you can check it out when you are done with this video. And if you haven't already, go check out Devine's channel. You guys, she homeschools 4 kids and I'm always getting multiple fun, brilliant ideas from her about how to approach homeschooling with multiple kids, and she's brilliant, you guys. I'm telling you, you're going to glean some type of fun, just awesome idea from her, and your homeschool is going to be made better because of it. Now, as far as our year, I feel like we got off to a really rocky start. I talked about this, I think, in like my changes video, all of the changes that we were making for the homeschool year, and the year hadn't even started because I did not feel prepared when we started. But I was like, you know what, regardless of whether or not I feel prepared, we're just going to start, even if it's messy, and it's all just going to work out. And so far it has all just worked out, which has been really, really nice. But it's funny because it seems like every homeschool mom I talk to feels the exact same way that I do. So is that normal? Like, is that just, is it just something about this year? Have you guys noticed that too? Like, nobody feels prepared starting. I wonder what that is about. I don't know. I just feel like it's very common with everyone I speak to. Now, I have a 1st grader and a 5th grader. And so far, all of their curriculums, I feel like it's going really, really well, and I don't want to jinx myself, like knock on wood, because I'm so happy with the changes that we made. For those of you who are brand new here, we just changed to Matthew C for both kids and IEW. And I was so worried about IEW, but it has actually been a true blessing. My son, my 5th grader, he's my reluctant writer, and he has loved that curriculum so far. And I mean, with the exception of the videos, the keyword outlines and the summaries have not taken him very long. Like, it's not like a traditional language arts program that takes, a substantial amount of time all day, every day. Now, he is using Phonetic Zoo and Fix-It Grammar along with Structure and Style from IEW, and all of them have just been such a blessing. And I think because each one is short and it's all separated, it's easier for him to kind of break off, chew, and digest instead of putting everything into one curriculum. And then he has, 45 minutes worth of work ahead of him from just one book. So I feel like it kind of cut down on his stress levels by having multiple books for different pieces of language arts, and that's been really, really helpful. As far as my daughter with IEW, she is using their, I forget the acronym for it, but it's PALS. It's their writing curriculum for younger kids in lower grades. And that one has been really, really nice. I love their very slow-paced approach with it. Their book is done in 3 parts, so you print it off in 3 different booklets, and the first book is all about writing their ABCs. She knows how to write all of them, but I've been having her go over that again just to really solidify her writing skills. And then once we get to part 2 of the book, then we're going to start incorporating all about reading. We haven't gotten there yet, but she loves that book so much that and because she already knows her ABCs, she's working ahead multiple lessons in each day. So I'm sure we're going to be there very quickly. We also changed to all about reading for her to complement her language arts curriculum. And I'm so happy with that choice because that curriculum has been so fun for her, and it's bringing out her confidence with reading, and the games that they have in it have been so fun for her. And so it's made the approach to reading in an enjoyable way where she doesn't feel stressed out. And I love that it's just 20 minutes every day. And then for our math curriculum, we changed both kids over to Math UC, and I'm actually so happy with that curriculum and that decision. My kids have really, really enjoyed it. My daughter absolutely loves the blocks, and because they both take it out and then they just build stuff with it. It's not even really used for their math curriculum. But my daughter really loves pulling it out for her math curriculum so she can visualize what the problem looks like, or like her tens, her ones, tens, and hundreds, basically her place values. Whereas my son, he's in the Epsilon book, and I think he could care less about the blocks unless he's playing with them. So I don't know how, I think maybe as we progress and his fractions get harder, he might pull those out more and use them. For right now, he is grasping it fairly well on paper and just mental math, so I haven't been pushing him to use the overlays. I'm sure though that's probably going to change as we get through more of the lessons and it becomes a little bit more challenging, and then he needs that visual representation. But for right now, both kids are loving it, and they love it so much that they'll do multiple lessons in one day just because they're having fun doing it. And that's exactly what I wanted, was, you know, something that was short and to the point, but that they easily grasp and that they're really learning from, and I feel like they're really getting that from Math UC. Now, as far as our Bible curriculum, both of my kids are using More Than Words. My first grader is using their level 1, and my fifth grader is using their level 2. And I have reviews and flip throughs on these in case you want to check them out, but I absolutely love that curriculum. It is one of my absolute all-time favorite Bible curriculums. I don't know if that will ever change, just because I've truly enjoyed using that to teach my kids scripture and just go through the Bible with them. What else are we using? We started our history curriculum. We have not gotten super far into it. I don't know how I feel about it so far. We are using the Simply Charlotte Mason Genesis through Deuteronomy. I feel like I'm going to need a few more weeks to really see whether or not I love it, or if I'm just neutral to it, or if I don't like it at all. I don't know. So far my kids are liking it, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'll get back to you guys. Now, as far as science, we have been using the space unit study from Gather Round. I have not been using that unit study as it was created for. I'm only using it for the reading, and then my kids have been doing the science workbook pages. So it's been cut down quite a bit. Instead of them getting like the language arts and history and Bible and everything from there, I'm only using it for science. And that has been actually like a really nice way to step into the year, because like I said, at the beginning of the year, I did not feel prepared. I definitely did not have our science unit studies that I wanted to plan already prepped. And so I just hit the easy button, and I chose one from Gather Round that would cover science fairly well. And I'm quite pleased with that, actually. Sometimes you just gotta hit the easy button, you guys. Like, sometimes your year is not gonna look like how you want it to look, at least not in the beginning. And so just hit the easy button, get into your rhythm, and then start working in the things that you want to see. And the last thing that I can remember us working in so far is Spanish. Now, that has actually been really fun. We're using Master Books Academy Spanish, and the lessons are very short and to the point, and they have been wonderful. I really think it's fun the way that the teacher works it in. I do feel like I'm probably going to need a few more weeks of that to really have a feel for the curriculum as a whole. But so far that's been going really well. And then another really great thing is we got into a co-op, so my kids are getting additional classes. They're getting Spanish in person so they can ask questions and they can learn pronunciation. and then get corrected if they're pronouncing something incorrectly, and they get to play games, and it just kind of comes to life for them, and I really love that. One of my kids is doing archery. Both of them are doing art classes, so I don't feel as bad if I don't have all of these fun art projects planned throughout the year. And they're just having such a fun time, and I'm so happy that we finally found a co-op that we are happy with and that the kids are enjoying. And it's just nice to be able to leave, you know, one day every week and go and do something that's educational but fun, and then it's also not all on me to plan. Now, as far as the last thing that is really working out for us is I have decided that every single month, since I bought so many at the homeschool convention, we would be reading a brand new Lamplighter book. And so we are going to be starting As Many Touch Him. This was actually sent to me from Lamplighter Ministries. I was so excited to get to work with them. But this book sounds so good, you guys. It is about a little girl and she goes to visit her aunt so she can learn how to be a seamstress. But the experience ends up not being anything that she had planned for or thought that it would be. And she goes into a forbidden room, and that opens up a whirlwind of issues. And as she's going through the trials, she is reminded of a Bible verse that she used to go over with her crippled brother. So it sounds like such a beautiful story, and I love how all of their books are filled with good literature that's older literature, and they all have biblical values and just beautiful character traits that they are encouraging and teaching your children through the stories. And my kids and I have really loved these. We are finishing up one in our morning basket, and then we are currently listening to their Sir Malcolm and the Missing Prince, and my kids and I were loving listening to that. If you guys ever get a chance to get one of their audiobooks, it is not like a regular audiobook where it's the same person reading every line for every person. It is an audio drama, and each person is being narrated by someone different, and the story is fun and engaging to listen to. And this is coming from someone who does not enjoy audiobooks. If you ever meet anyone from the book club that I am in, I have tried to listen to some of the books that we have chosen as audiobooks, and I'm just like, I hate it, I can't do it. And so I actually really enjoy the Lamplighter audiobooks, and that is not always the case with me with audiobooks. So whether you like to read beautiful paperback books or you like to listen to audiobooks, go check out Lamplighter Ministries. I will link this book down below if you are interested in checking them out. But you guys, like, you seriously can't go wrong. My kids have loved these, and I love the values that they're learning from it. It's just the good, solid values that you don't tend to find in books that are more modern and written, you know, currently. So I love these books. I can't say enough good things about them. Now, as far as the things that are not working out, I have not even added in our morning basket, like our full-on morning basket. Literally, the only thing that I have been doing is our read-alouds. And I know that that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know when you make certain goals and you're like, this is what I would like to accomplish this year, and you're like, I'm not even starting that yet. That's where I'm currently at. And so I know that we're eventually going to find our routine and get into a really good morning basket system and all of that. I know that's going to follow. But I just wish that, you know, it just came a little quicker as it did in previous years. All right, now as far as things that are not working out, you guys, our schedule, it is not working out. It is not good. For the most part, we're staying on track, but I think we're staying not on track just enough to really prolong the day. And I think a big part of that was just me coming into the homeschool year not being super prepared. And so in some ways it was fine, and in other ways, I know it's just going to take time for us to find our rhythm and routine, especially since we are using new curriculums and we do have a few extras, but because we haven't really nailed down our routine yet, there are still some things that I haven't even bothered to add in, like our geography. I wanted to finish up our geography curriculum from last year, and I believe there's like one or two other things that I wanted to add in just sparingly and not every day, but I haven't even added that in just because it is taking us so long to complete our work for everyone. For basically every day we're finishing pretty late, and so I think the problem with that is just me being consistent. I really need to start waking up earlier and doing the things that I want to do before we get started on homeschooling, and then before the kids come down, and then stay on top of things as we move throughout our day. You guys, like second trimester, they promise you energy, and they lie because I am so tired all the time. And so I think that that's really been hard on me with staying consistent, because when my son is like, well, can I take a break? And I'm like, yeah, I get to take a break too. And so that's been rough, and I know that we're gonna find our groove, and I know that it's okay to take that time to take breaks and rest and everything, but I'm also very type A, so it kind of just goes against my natural instincts. And I like when we finish the day early and there's still a large portion of the day where the kids can do the things that interest them. I can read a book, I can play with my toddler and things like that. So we really just need to work on being consistent and being more diligent with our time. And because of that, and because I haven't been able to get into a very good routine yet, we haven't even worked in our full morning basket routine. Because if you guys remember, I mentioned how I wanted to add in the Faithopedias from Not Consumed. I wanted to add in the Laying Down the Rails by Charlotte Mason. And then there's a few extra things like critical thinking skill curriculums and other things that I would like to add into our morning time. Not every day, but I want to do a loop schedule for those things. So we're touching a little bit on each thing every week. And it's not, there's just this crazy, overwhelming thing that we're doing. But because I haven't been able to nail down a good routine yet, we haven't even been able to focus on any of like the fun extras that I wanted to do. But I also know that it's totally fine if the only thing we're doing in our morning basket is to do a read aloud. And like I mentioned, those are going fine. We absolutely love those. But I want to just make sure that we're being more diligent with our time so that we can add those things in. And, I could just make sure that everyone's getting an enriching education. So, which I know they are. Do you see how you kind of just constantly go back and forth? Like, I know this, but then I want to do this. And you just have this constant like internal struggle where you're like, I know it's okay, but I also want to do more. Let me know that I'm not alone, you guys. And I think that is it as far as our homeschool year is going. It's going really well curriculum-wise. I just need to nail down that schedule so then everything else will fall into place. And I think my deep-rooted fear is that by the time this baby comes, that's when I'm going to finally have a good schedule. And then we're going to take time off and it's just all going to go out the window. I'll keep you updated. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll go well. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the playlist. I'm so excited to see how everyone else's years are going. I hope that they have more of a handle on things than I do currently, but it'll all be fine. So I'll see you guys again later. Bye.